believe that blacksmithing has been around for about 3,500 years. It has played an integral role in the development of civilizations.
My name is Aram Nigahosian and I'm a blacksmith and teacher here at Adams Forge. In detail, blacksmithing is taking metal and manipulating metal and creating all kinds of products. From tools to kitchen utensils to household products, and in some cases finer forging such as jewelry and smaller works of art.
Blacksmithing is the process of heating iron to around where it's cherry, to either cherry red to white hot, not to the melting point. That's using a furnace, and that's having a foundry. That's not blacksmithing anymore. But just heating it up and forming iron or steel, because iron or steel, as you can see, turns black as it cools. So that happens, and then that's why it was called blacksmithing, and it's the process of reforming metal.
Today, there are many books and groups working to educate people about blacksmithing. There are various clubs that have been founded by smiths, with smiths demonstrating at historical sites and living history events. Most modern blacksmiths' work is decorative, and they consider themselves artist blacksmiths.
Blacksmithing originated probably when primitive man discovered iron ore in the ground and discovered that once you heated that up and banged on it with a rock or a handmade hammer out of rock, you could heat it up and soften it enough to form a shape. And I think that's when it started. We don't have an exact date or anything like that. It's something that it's an art and a science that's evolved throughout the years. And of course there were stages. It went through a Bronze Age, and then there's just been a progression of blacksmithing and different types of metals and alloys used.
The group Artist Blacksmiths Association of North America, or the ABANA for short, was founded in 1973 with 27 members initially, and by 2013 the group had grown to almost 4,000 members. Also, the BABA, or the British Artist Blacksmiths Association, was founded in 1978 with 30 members, and by 2013 this group had grown to around 600 members.
It's funny, I've been a maker of some sort all my life. I remember when I was a little kid, my grandfather was a rancher, and we were going to go to the coast, and he wanted to make us a pitchfork that we could go clamming for, to dig them out of the sand. And he looked around his little barn, and he found an old pitchfork, and he got a handle and shortened it up because he used a short handle. And he re-riveted the handle back on, and then he had a little device for measuring a clam, and he riveted that to the handle, and that's how I was raised. We made stuff. So it's just part of my makeup. Some people rather cook, some people work off. I'd rather make. Everybody likes to do their own thing.
Blacksmithing is not used quite as much today as casting. When metal's cast, you can get very precise measurements on a product that you need for a vehicle or something like that. And from that point, it is tooled and machined down to a final dimension. In blacksmithing, you can get very fine detail and technical dimension, but it's a slower process. I think you can look at it as both an art and a job. There's people who make products such as tools, such as hammers, and if you look at that hammer, it is a tool and it is a job to make a tool like that. But if you really take the time and look at it, it is a piece of art in engineering. It's a functional piece of art, is what I see it as. So when you ask if it's a job, it is a job, but I do see a very artistic side to that job. You have to be an artist to be able to do this job.
For many years, the developed nations of the world migrated to other technologies, and the need for blacksmithing decreased. However, by the number of clubs and club memberships growing indicates a reawakening of interest in blacksmithing. Many developing countries, blacksmiths still do what they've been doing for 3,500 years of making and repairing iron tools for people in their local area.
I got interested because I always wanted to make knives, and I met a blacksmith I met a bladesmith who told me if you want to make knives, you have to learn to manipulate steel, to move steel and move metal. And he recommended the school, Adams Forge, and I started coming here as a student about 5 years ago, and I've just progressed from there and done my level 1 and level 2 certificate courses, and now I'm teaching. I teach a class per month, which is our beginners class here, and that's generally 10 to 12 students. And then I have, I do a discovery day where I teach. That's kind of an open format where it depends on how many students come.
Gold is for the mistress, silver for the maid, copper for the craftsman cunning at his trade. Good, said the Baron, sitting in his hall, but iron, cold iron, is the master of them all.